You know, if Gumby is gone, we can't do anything. So we just said, I'm telling you what, Fleetwood Mac as a whole said, Christine, myself, Lindsay, we all said, well, this is a serious break. And I had a lot of difficulty dealing with that year on the road. It was very difficult for me. I think as you get older, you get worse pains, and it's just harder.
These physical pains or mental as well?
You see, it all depends on both. If you get physically tired, then you get mentally tired. Then you get more physically tired, and then you get more mentally tired. And you never have a chance to really rest all those powers in you that makes you who you are. They never rest. So pretty soon you are really going on what I sort of call automatic pilot, which has little to do with you. It's sort of a way to get through it all, and you do it. But it isn't. What I love is I love the magic. I love it when my band or any band walks on the stage and everybody gets, chills. I also get those same chills. When I don't get those chills, I'm very disappointed, and I just want to cry. So when I came off the road last year, I was so tired and so out of touch with everything in my life, my friends, my family, that I thought it's time to begin again here now. At this point, it's time for you, Stevie, to decide if you can go ahead and keep writing those songs and do all of this without this built-in family that has been surrounding you and holding you and supporting you for all these years, And I met someone whose name is Jimmy Iovine, who produces Tom Petty. I met them both the same day, and I love Tom Petty's stuff. I'm an avid Tom Petty fan. I'd probably be a Tom Petty groupie if I wasn't in a rock and roll band. I said, well, wow, if he's good enough for Tom Petty, he has to be good enough for me. So it was sort of an unspoken thing from a long time before we ever got around to doing the second month of the year Tusk tour. He said, if you want to do an album, I know that you're really used to being this like the midnight cat queen that comes in whenever you feel like it, and you bring your satchel of all the things you do, your books, and you're all there, and you completely wreck the studio. And he said, this is not how we're going to do this album. In the first place, you've only got 3 months. And in the second place, I don't want to waste my time with, like, a cartoon. And
he was telling you, you want to do this seriously.
He was saying, this is not big rock and roll. This is something you have never done before. You are not a proven solo artist in any way, shape, or form. You have been protected like the little baby egg, for 7 years. This is something that you have to do alone, Stevie. And if you want to do this, then I have to know that you are going to be very, very strong and very disciplined. And if you don't want to do that, if you want to be recording like you've always recorded and take months and months and months, then find somebody else, because I cannot work that way. And nobody had ever looked at me and said, I'm leaving, basically. I don't need to go through this with you. And, I just went, wow, I guess he doesn't think I'm really that big of a deal. He's threatening me to leave, and we haven't even started the album yet. So I really took a couple of deep breaths and said, this is what I wanted my whole life, was to do this album. I wanted to do a few of my songs that I loved for all the people in the world that I love. He gave me the chance, and he was telling me right there that if I didn't want to really, really be a soldier, that he didn't want to do this with me. And I believed him.
Were you scared at that point?
I was absolutely scared to death, because I didn't really know whether or not I would be able to conform to this new disciplinary way of life. Not 50 people at the studio every night. All of my girlfriends were not welcome. All of my friends, were not welcome. Really, very few people were welcome unless it was in the scheme of what we were doing to be finished in 3 months, because I had to go to Paris to record with Fleetwood Mac, with or without Belladonna.
Stevie Nicks, tomorrow, Laurie Mahaffey.
of the songs on the album were written years ago. Okay. In that whole sense of getting out from that family and going out on your own, during the years as those songs were being written, did you give them to the group to possibly record with the group, or
Absolutely.
what did they said no then?
They didn't say no. They just you see, I have like my set of demo tapes, which is about like 4 cassettes, back and front, big long cassettes of just like a bunch of songs that start from long before even after the glitter fades, which is 1972. And they have their set of Stevie's tapes just like everybody else in my life does. You know, there must be thousands of them out. They were absolutely welcome to anything that I wrote, except I would say Belladonna and Edge of 17, because they were written, Belladonna was written to be the meaningful word of this album, and I couldn't give them that. I would give them anything, but I couldn't give Fleetwood Mac Belladonna.
Let me ask you about that name. And we think of, most of us think of Belladonna and think of this drug that'll kill you. What is it to you?
That's, everybody that talks to me about it has a different way of putting it. You just put it in a very different way than anybody else has ever put it.
I do my best.
I can see that. And the woman was so tired that the woman could have really disappeared. And I don't mean die or anything. I just mean withered away out of this whole thing because it was just too difficult for me. I never thought that my face would become thin. I have a lot of trouble losing weight as it is. And I became thin. And I became unhappy. And all the wonderful things that money could buy cannot change the way you feel inside when you're by yourself in a hotel room at night. The saving grace is that Sarah was recorded and Dreams was recorded and Goldust Woman, the songs that are such a part of my life that I love. The saving grace is that my music is a cross. The reason for Belladonna was to get a little bit more of that out because I could have the space, the room, to put a few more things. I'm not a pushy person. You know, I wish there was a way I didn't ever have to tell people that I'm even bummed because I can't show them everything that I write, because I write for you. I write for everyone that listens to me. I don't write for me. I write because somebody is telling me to say some of these things. And when I can't get them out to people, it breaks my heart because they sit in a file cabinet. That's why I did Belladonna.
It seems very important, obviously, for you to connect with the people that listen to your music. Yet you haven't actually toured to promote this album. Is there any specific reason why you haven't gone out?
Well, that takes time, and I have to wait for the musicians, because they're all, like, committed for the rest of their lives. And strangely enough, everybody has their price, but these musicians are very honorable. So if I want them, then I have to wait until they can go. We may be able to go and do a few shows here and there in a couple months. That's what I'd like to do. I'd just like to go and sing these songs a few times for somebody. Simply, the girls and I know every song we can do them a cappella with a piano player. We're ready now yesterday. It'll be difficult to put like a big thing together right now because I have to go back into recording with Fleetwood Mac, and it's getting to be winter, and it's cold. It's too cold to go back to the cold places, and I'd feel like I was really cheating everybody if I just toured where the sun was shining.
It'd be great in Southern California.
It would be great here, but I would love to do that. And as soon as we can, you know, when it fits into the scheme of everything, I will.
Stevie Nicks. And the fellow with the shorter blonde hair was Tom Petty, and the fellow with the beard was Jeff Silverman.